Mental Performance Podcast.
Episode 136, Pillar 6, Meditation and Mental Imagery. We're building confidence and control from the inside out today. Welcome back to the Mindbender Mental Performance Podcast, the only podcast that former Dominican League MVP Licey baseball great says makes players fuerza en la cabeza. El lugar es aquí, el momento es ahora. Wherever you are, the place is here, the time is now. This pod, it's about taking it from the clouds to the dirt. It's about showing up, being present, knocking down the mental and oftentimes emotional barriers that get in the way of consistent and confident performance. Today, we're diving into Pillar 6, meditation and mental imagery. Let me tell you, this is a game changer. Whether you know it or not, the mental images you carry around, both good and bad, have a massive impact on how you perform. Top athletes aren't just out there winging it. And as one of my great mentors, Ichabod Kaner, likes to say, winging it's for fucking losers. So they're creating mental blueprints because we all know things happen twice, first in our mind, then in reality. They've got a plan. They live with intention. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens with intention. They see the game in their mind before they step on the field. And that's what we're talking about today, how to build a mental practice that keeps you calm, confident, poised, in control of what you can control and influence, and ready to compete. You against you, not compared to who somebody else is today. Whether you know it or not, the images that you carry, they affect you, positive or negative. They're directly influencing your performance. If you're not training this skill, oftentimes we train our intelligence. We go to school. We train our physical piece when we play our sport. But oftentimes we don't train the emotions, the intellect. We don't train the mental performance skills, oftentimes because we don't know where to start. You're leaving a massive tool in the toolbox unused. If you learn how to do this right, you'll be so far ahead of the competition. It's like playing chess while they're still figuring out how to play checkers. It's like you're painting with a full set of oils when everyone else is doodling with crayons. So what is mental imagery and meditation? Let's start with the basics. Mental imagery, sometimes called visualization or mental rehearsal, is about creating a mental experience that mimics actual physical experiences. It's like you're the director and the star of your own movie, and it all plays out in your mind's eye. When done right, the skill lets you prep for what's coming because the separation's in the preparation. So you're not just guessing, you're mentally repping. It's the difference between showing up to a game blind versus showing up feeling like you've already been there. Now we can talk about meditation. It's not some woo-woo, sit on a mountaintop kind of thing. It's hard to be, when you're a monk breathing in a cave without the actual. It's a whole different thing when you come out of the cave and come into the city, into the concrete jungle. So meditation is learning how to quiet your mind, manage stress, and stay locked in on the task at hand. When you can turn down the noise and focus on the moment, you're going to make better decisions. Better people make better decisions. Better people making better decisions make better players. They stay calmer under pressure and recover faster from setbacks. In fact, they look at it as a setback, as a setup for a comeback. These aren't just tools. These can be superpowers when used correctly, much like consistency, much like sleep, much like eating the right things, much like constantly working on your mindset, your mobility, your movement. And sleep is a superpower. Why are these skills game changers? The truth is, whether you're aware of it or not, the mental images that you carry around matter. But when you train the skills deliberately, here's what happens. You stay calm under pressure. You see pressure as a privilege and you focus. You respond to the situations logically, neutrally, instead of emotionally. You stick with it when it gets hard, when it gets tough, because you've already visualized the challenges and the triumphs. You've seen the thrill of victory. You've lived through and seen yourself as a champion go through the agony of defeat. You've seen the loss, and you said, learning opportunity, stay strong. You manage the highs and the lows of competition better, knowing when to flip the switch between effort and recovery. But let's be clear. This isn't about imagining everything going perfectly like some Disneyland fairy tale. It's about prepping for the real shit, the adversity, the setbacks, the boredom, the frustration, and how you respond when things don't go your way. Let's talk about a few hard truths about the crap that people get wrong when it comes to myths and mistakes about mental imagery and meditation. I already do imagery. No, you don't. Closing your eyes and daydreaming about hitting a pump, knocking a pocket, or throwing a skittle in class or in between reps at the Iron Paradise doesn't cut it. That's daydreaming, Jack. Mental imagery is deliberate, consistent practice where you're visualizing your performance in a specific, detailed way. That's a big, big difference. About number 2, I don't have time. Bullshit. You've got time. I've met high-powered executives who haven't missed a day of meditation in 25 years. Start small, 1 breath, 2 minutes. You don't need to light incense and chant. Just make it a priority. How about I'm not good at it? Of course you're not. Nobody's good at it right away. You didn't hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball the first time on the mound either. Meditation and mental imagery are skills you develop over time, just like any other skill. Start by focusing on your breath or visualizing a single play. Build from there. How about my performance will go just like I imagined? No, it won't. It rarely does. But here's the point. Mental imagery is practice. It helps you prepare for what you'll face, but it's not a crystal ball. Don't think your game will be perfect just because you visualized it that way. Oh, I did it once. It didn't work. Right? Come on. Stick with it. I need to imagine perfection is another thing. Wrong again. There's more value in visualizing adversity and how you'll handle it. Picture that high pressure moment, the bad call, the missed pitch, right? And then you see yourself refocusing, releasing, flushing it, and locking back in and executing in the present moment. That's real mental imagery, not daydreaming. How do you train mental imagery and meditation? It's a great question. This is where the rubber meets the road. If you're serious about this, here are some steps that you can get started with. Practice seeing and feeling the details. Mental imagery isn't just about what you see, it's about what you feel. When you visualize a pitch, imagine the grip of the ball, the tension in your body, and the sound of the popping into the mitt as a professional glove hitter. Make it as vivid as possible, like you're really there in the movie theater of your mind. Rehearse the full picture. Don't just imagine the good stuff. Picture the challenges too. Picture your release when you get into a yellow or red light. How are you going to release it? What are the steps that you go to release it and bring you back to the present moment? What's your physical action? What's your breath on a focal point? We suggest the left field foul pole, let it go. What's your verbal trigger to lock back in? Breathe, let it eat this pitch. What is yours? This is about prepping the mind to handle the chaos of the game. Start small. You don't need to sit for 30 minutes like we talked about and light incense and have somebody come over and hit a gong and play a sound bowl. Although that can enhance the experience, but start with a couple minutes of focused breathing. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Activating the belly with the breath. That's it. You're training your mind to focus and be present, not trying to become a freaking monk. And then incorporate it into your routine daily. If you brush your teeth once a week, by day 2, your breath is going to smell. Same thing with the mental game. You constantly have to be revisiting it the same way you'd brush your teeth every day. They need to be part of your regular mental performance training, not just something you do before a big game. Let me say that again. Mental imagery and meditation need to be part of your regular mental performance training routine, not just something you do before a big game. Make it a habit like hitting the gym or taking beeps. Consistency is what separates the pros from the pretenders, the little leaguers from the big leaguers, the no-namers to the Hall of Famers. Consistency is a superpower. Another big way we do that is with our ball meditation and mental imagery, our breathing, body check-in, affirmations, or signs of success, looking back at your best performances and looking ahead. So when we have a guided mental imagery technique, And we use ball. We breathe. We start with a breath cadence of in for 6, hold for 2, and then exhale for 8. This tends to calm the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system, aka your flight or fight nervous system, and locks you into the present moment. Then we'll take you through a body scan where we start with the number 5 and put the focus and attention in your toes, the balls of your feet, your arches, your ankles, your Achilles, your calves, your shins. As they release, relax, and let go. And with each corresponding number, 5 up to 1, 1 is the last one. We end with put the attention up the back of your neck, the back of your head, your forehead, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your lips gently part, and the tongue just hangs in your mouth as a complete and total body relaxation and centering takes over. And what happens is, and what you'll find is the more relaxed you become, the better you might feel. And the better you might feel, the more relaxed you might want to become. Once we go through the body scan, we move on to step 2 of affirmations. That's the A of our ball meditation and mental imagery process. This is your self-talk, your reminder. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. I compete with big body language and confidence. I trust my routine and live in the moment. I control what I can control. I'm the one-pitch warrior. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Things always work out for Kowalski, right? Whatever phrase keeps you focused, good. Use it. Whatever it is that keeps you focused and confidence, that's your go-to. Then we're going to look back at your previous successes. We're going to recall a time when you were at your best, when you were your most dominant person in playing self. We're going to feel that success. We're going to remember what it looked like, what it sounded like, what you were wearing, what the other team was wearing, what the energy environment was like. We're going to bring it back to life in your mind. Because remember, things happen twice, first in our mind, then in reality. This reminds you that you're capable of responding to any situation that comes your way. And then the final L, the ball meditation and mental imagery, we're going to look forward at your next performance. Now you get to visualize your next performance, your next practice at home, on the road as a road warrior, in the cage, wherever that's going to be, at the Iron Paradise. See yourself executing with confidence. See yourself executing consistently on your routine, on your pre-pitch routine, on your release routine. As a position player, your pre-pitch routine, stepping into your circle of focus. As a base runner, knowing the outs, knowing the situation, knowing who's up, knowing where the pitcher's placing the ball. All that goes into being a competent next base mentality base runner with good secondaries and good leads. It matters everywhere. And as soon as you take a pre-pitch routine off, the ball will find you. So that's what we do as we look ahead and you can see yourself executing at your best. Build a bridge from looking back to looking forward. So when we practice our ball meditation and mental imagery, breathing, body scan, affirmations, looking back and looking ahead, we're mentally prepping for success before you even step out onto the field. I think Mookie Betts was saying during the Dodgers' great World Series run about how he takes 100 at-bats before he even leaves his house. He's got bats and mirrors all over the house. A freaky baseball dude, just bats and mirrors everywhere. And that's Mookie Betts. If Mookie Betts is doing it, we need reminders and we need to do shadow and mental reps too. The idea of mental reps or shadow works is a staple in high-level performance. Think about it. Guys like Mookie Betts, guys like Corbin Burns, guys like Josh Hader, guys like Clayton Kershaw, guys like Drew Brees, the great former New Orleans Saints quarterback Drew Brees, they've used shadow reps to visualize plays and pitches. They practice the motion, the routine, even when they're not physically performing. It's about drilling those moments into your mind so that when the real deal hits, you've been there before. Shadow work is key for building that deep-rooted confidence, because we talk about all the time, you can't have the fruits without the roots. Can't have the fruits without the roots, right? So, lastly, let's talk about a concept called thoughts become things. Let's talk about TBT. Thoughts become things. What you believe in your mind, you can manifest in reality. If you constantly see yourself failing, struggling, or not measuring up, guess what? That's exactly what you'll get. But if you train yourself to visualize success, you're already halfway there. The mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. So train it to expect success and not failure. Make sure you're doing your shadow work. Because meditation and mental imagery, they're skills. It's not el mago. It's not magic. They're tools to help you prepare, stay calm, and handle the ups and downs of competition in life. And when you train these skills constantly and consistently, you're not just playing the game, you're playing it ahead of the competition. So visualization and mental imagery, they're not about perfection. They're about preparation. And the separation's in the preparation. You're training your mind to handle reality, not a fantasy. And that's what makes them so powerful, because you want to go to the ballpark, not the amusement park. Huh? These are like secret weapons in your mental performance toolbox. You got to train them. You got to use them. You got to trust them to help you navigate the chaos of competition. On our next episode, we're diving deep into pillar number 7, routines and habits of excellence. Meditation and mental imagery help you prepare, but routines are what keep you consistent. We'll get into how to build habits that keep you disciplined, focused, and performing at your best every single day, because your dreams and goals are just the sum of all your todays. So tune in next time, and we'll dive into it. Para mis jugadores latinos, más línea, más vida. Hasta la próxima. Recuerda, si quieres ser un jugador disciplinado, comprometido y preparado en el futuro, empiezas esa mierda hoy. Se necesita lo que se necesita, y lo mejor está por venir. Until next time, remember, if you want to be a disciplined, committed, and prepared ball player in the future, you start that shit today. You already know it takes what it takes, and the best is yet to come. Whether it's on the field or in your head, success starts with what you visualize and believe. Believe you can get better. Believe we can get better.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
When you know, you know.